So you've lifted your profitability targets today. Why do you have the confidence to do that? What's going well?
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. We present today our strategic plan for the next 3 years. We have achieved a lot during the last 4 years, restoring profitability above our cost of equity, cleaning up our balance sheet, and achieving leadership both in Spain and Portugal. For the 3 years ahead, what we're planning is to transform digitally our bank, to grow core revenues at 5%, and to achieve our return on tangible equity above 12%. We believe we have a very good franchise which can work both very well in Spain, as it has done in the past, as well in Portugal. And we also plan to maintain a very solid balance sheet with a capital ratio above 12%.
And what can you do on the cost side? I was reading some reaction to your Capital Markets Day presentation from one broker that suggested maybe there was a little disappointment on the cost side, and we see the stock trading down today. Could you be more aggressive on costs, or have you got it right?
I think that we will be, if needed, more aggressive. I think what we are doing is something very important, transforming our branch network. Our branch network has been critical over the years. Customers still value proximity, even though we are also leaders in the digital domain. So there is, for us, the strategy is in urban centers to have new branches. We will develop our store branches up to a number of 600. We will maintain our presence in the countryside, and we will specialize our branch network. That, I think, will help maintaining cost under control.
Matt.
Jordi, what's your view of the Spanish economy right now? What's your view of the European economy? You're in such a unique position as chairman of CaixaBank, and the markets are concerned that things are slowing down.
Well, the Spanish economy has done, and the Portuguese economy, by the way, which is also a matter of focus for us, they both have done very well over the last few years, growing above the average of the Eurozone. We expect this to continue to be the case for the next 3 years. It is true that Europe is entering a mature phase of the economic cycle, and this is true both for Spain and Portugal and for the whole Eurozone. But we expect that this will be a soft landing going forward.
So we have a fantastic story on the Bloomberg today talking about Draghi's whatever it takes moment, and he did whatever it takes and it worked. So in that sense, everything's good, but there is so much that he had to do. It's not clear whether he can get back to normal. Do you think that the ECB can, by the end of Mario Draghi's term, get back to normal, get off QE, and start to raise rates again?
I think that Europe is doing, the monetary policy in Europe is very well driven by Mr. Draghi. We are somehow a couple of years behind the United States, and that's the way it should be. The United States is very much in the way of normalization. Europe will be there by the end of next year or 2020, and rates will start gradually increasing as the market is anticipating. This is, in fact, the benchmark scenario that we have used in planning for our strategic plan for the next 3 years. A very moderate growth of interest rates and a very moderate growth of business volumes. But our bank is very active in insurance. It is a very diversified financial institution, and that's why even in the last few years we have been able to grow our revenues despite the fact that we had even negative rates.
So at the time when we're talking about rates going higher in Europe, possibly next year, at the same time people are asking questions about whether more TLTROs need to be given by the ECB, so cheap loans to the banking sector. Does CaixaBank, do Spanish banks need that further TLTROs?
I don't think that is needed. It will be only a matter of avoiding a cliff effect. By the end, these have to be returned to the ECB. Certainly, our bank is ready to return on time during 2019 and 2020. We have other sources of funding. There might be problems of funding in other European countries, not in Spain and Portugal. So we don't plan to use those. But I think it's wise from the point of view of the ECB to plan so that the balance sheet doesn't go down dramatically with a surprise for the markets.
What are you, Jordi, when you want to make money, you've got to, rates have to keep rising for one thing, and you're counting on that as part of your forecast, and you've got to get more fees from your customers. How are you going to do that? Where do you see those fees coming from?
Well, a key target of our plan is advisory. It's to provide, in a way, what we're trying to do, our mission is to provide for the financial well-being of our clients and society. And financial well-being means advising them all through their financial decisions, all through their life, since they buy a house until they retire. And many of those financial transactions involve fees. And we have been actually doing this over the last few years. So we are confident that this business model, even taking into account the inroads of digital competitors, we in fact are very active also providing digital services. What we make sure is that our client does banking with us, and if he or she likes to do it through the branches, we will take care of her or he. And if he or she likes to do it through digital, we can also provide very good services.
In terms of consolidation in the European banking sector, many people point to the need for it. Do you think the mid-cap Spanish banks need to engage in further consolidation?
It could be. I think that we don't know. I mean, if the economy were to falter, and if regulation were to become even more strict, then maybe some of these mid-cap banks would be in a difficult situation. They are not at this stage. They are doing well. So at this stage, I don't see prospects of further consolidation, nor within Spain, nor across the Eurozone. Across the Eurozone, cross-border consolidation is even more difficult.
Do you worry about what's going on in Italian banks at the moment?
I worry about the fact that the European Union and the European Monetary Zone should take advantage of this moment of economic growth and very low interest rates to fix the European Monetary Union, to make sure that we don't need Draghi's words.